Hello, me again. So I'm going to take you through the research plan that we use to develop advertising for Nature's Own. So hold on a second while I bring my screen up. So foundational research for us is a combination of consumer segments and the need states in which they use bread. So examples of need states is sometimes it's about hunger. I make a sandwich, I'm hungry. Sometimes it's about bringing the family together. Think about dinner rolls. Other times it's a more of a relaxing, take your time weekend occasion where I have the time now to, you know, toast a bagel or do something that takes a little longer than I would in the weekday. So those are what need states are. General assumption is from a consumer segmentation person, everyone is in one segment only, but everyone can have a number of need states during the course of the day. You know, you have bread for breakfast, bread for lunch, bread for dinner, dinner rolls, all different occasions, all different usages. You know, a hamburger bun is different than a dinner roll. So two different need states could even happen at dinner. The consumer segmentation is what we use to, one, talk to consumers. It's part of the creative brief. It's who we go out and research amongst to get the insights. So call it foundational because it's really everything we need to know about our brands. When you have multiple brands like we do, it also helps us understand the differences in the overlap between brands. So, you know, a lot of people use Wonder, Dave's Killer Bread, and Nature's Own, sometimes for different reasons, right? Dave's Killer Bread is the adult. Wonder could be the kids. So from a Nature's Own perspective, it really is the busy mom that's trying to do the best she can to feed her family, but is willing to make trade-offs in terms of kind of health and the kids enjoying it. So that's the bullseye for mom. Mind modeling, and I talked about that last week, but that's really understanding the brand's perspective from the consumer's brain. So what are those connections? So think of Coca-Cola, right? I say Coke and you think red and white. You think refreshment. You may think polar bear. You may see the image of the bottle and the condensation dripping down. Well, we do the same thing for Nature's Own. I say Nature's Own, what do you think? And then we use something called implicit association testing, which is all based on how quickly you respond to something tells me how strong it is actually inside your brain. So we do the mind modeling, it's qualitative, but then we follow it up with quantitative to understand just exactly how strong is that imagery in people's minds. Is it, you know, like, again, Coca-Cola and refreshment, very quick, easy, or does it take longer? Is it something we need to build upon and be more overt in our communications? From there, we give a creative brief to the agency, and they come back with big ideas. And they may come back with 2 ideas, may come back with 6 ideas, but we got to figure out which of these ideas is worth putting resources behind and which aren't. Some people do quant testing. We tend to do more qualitative in that regard, but basically, how do you bring that to life, put it in front of people and say, these ideas really aren't that good. These 2 or 3 are. From there, it goes back to the agency. They develop what we call storyboards. So think of a one-pager, and we'll get to this in module 6, but they'll try to bring the idea to life on what the ad will look like, but in either color or black and white drawings on one page. And then often we'll take those qualitative boards to the consumer to get their reaction. Again, primarily qualitative there, but you can do quantitative also. But what you're looking for is kind of red flags. Why do you do that? Why do you not do that? The next step, third step from an agency perspective is once the client, the advertiser has agreed on the storyboards, they come up and make what we call an animatic. So it's basically a, you know, think of a cartoon, right? It's an animatic version of what the ad will look like. It's so you're not going in and paying for talent and spending a lot of money to develop the ads. And then again, this is where we start using our quant methods. We put the animatic into a tool to see how the animatic does. Perfect example is the ads I showed you for Nature's Own. When they first came out, it was like, oh, that's a little too scary. So we made the characters a little more relatable. Do they understand the joke at the end? Do they like it? Is it a little slow? A couple of the ads we had for Nature's Own, the buildup was too long and we discovered we were losing people. So how do you shorten the buildup and get to the messaging faster? After that, the agency goes back, gets talent, shoots the ad, and then we go and we test it before we spend, $40 million on an ad budget to put it out in market. There are certain hurdles it has to pass. And then the final step is, obviously we look at sales data, but then we utilize marketing mix modeling to sit there and say, what is the return on investment? So we spent 40 million, what did we get back? And more importantly, what was the lift? Is it actually driving sales? So there's the research kind of plan that we use for Nature's Own develop ads. Mind modeling I've shared with you before. If you have questions on the first couple of items I mentioned, please bring them up in the class. And the last section from validation to marketing mix, we'll cover in, I think it's going to be module 6. So anyway, there's the plan. If you have questions, bring it up in the class or shoot me email or put it into the chat and I'll answer it. So anyway, talk to you on Monday. Thank you.